Orion Council here. Hold on, please. It is nice to communicate. Ready or not, we are here. It is time to say that, ready or not, we want you to understand who we are and why we are communicating. 17 of us here to talk about the resonance that takes place when you are in a attunement mode. You have around your planet several great collectives who are sensing the priorities that must be focused on when you are in a transition from this focal point to another, which is frequential. It is also physical. It is also elemental. Krista has demonstrated the awareness that must take place prior to connections. And now we say that you have a readiness to correct the past, but you are to feel the solution before you actively participate. Errans people west of the United States have a sensitivity to the Pleiades planets presence. We're seeing the toroidal field expansion happening during the communications. A scene kind of talking happened long ago. The same happens today. Area 51 has a similar frequency as they did long ago when they were talking with us. It is a similar type of energy. We'll explain this at another time. How this works is that you get the message first, then you translate. Guessing is somewhat needed, but you have a frequency pattern that we watch, and they can train you to learn to read frequencies. And kind of gray type of being that assists with the messages comes through your consciousness, and they arrange for the language center of the brain to be active. Now you know what we mean when we say translating. March of last year was important. We have given this date because it had a time period where some of you were receiving good messages and you hadn't communicated them. And sight came through and you were given information about what was happening, and then you said, oh, now I recognize what happened to me. Inside of you is a particle that accelerates and it collects information as it moves. Now you understand that very soon you can work on your own methods to excite it and then release the trying and start doing. War happened long ago on your earth, which had implications inside of your mind. You remember these wars? The people here on our planet, for example, had arranged for helping Earth because they had also gone through these wars. When people try to assist Earth, there's a continual fear that they will continue to be warlike, but they are assisting. So much confusion here due to that fact. We're impressed by many groups on your planet that get outside of the past and say, now is the time for new options. It is for asserting one's self and also working with groups without the expectation of poverty, without the expectation of waste, without the expectation of tight rules. You know that you have many extraterrestrial groups who are working with people that are not known to be connected to those groups. We have arranged for some of you to know this, but you see how difficult it can be to explain why people are doubting this sort of messaging and very much sensitive to the language. They haven't felt energy, they simply hear words. We're sensitive beings as well. We sense your thoughts, also your probable energetic directing. Continue to sense yourself. Do you see yourself, and do you go inside of your mind to realign and toss what is selfish and toss what is destructive thinking. Guessing what is good is different from directing your own thought towards benevolent action. Also, timelines adjust when you focus on solving the resisting parts. These parts don't work for you. The sight comes through without this resisting part. That is the block to the third eye and your racist piece of mind that humans hold, that they do not speak, but they receive. Brain is afraid of a different people. Scientifically, they have fears of other groups. See for yourself. Higher mind knows all are one. Doorways open with fearful people have fears of others, of humans, also fears ghosts. They haven't the sensitivity through spiritual connection between all. Feeling that you are separate means fearing others. Now, in hindsight, you say, I was wrong, but you had to accept that first. Say the timeline where you solve those thoughts, and a sense that you were trying your best, but you made a mistake. Dying isn't needed, okay? Because you are good. Now you would sense the precedent thought. Also sense the people first before you judge them. Sense the frequency to say it comes through, and now you know, is that personality really a great being or not? Countries disagree because they want to be greater than others. They feel inferior. How can a country feel inferior? Messages that dried out administrations have groups of people. They guessing people's moves. They have fear. Gateways are open, and they have fear of moving through them. They say that the other side is not to be trusted. The same is for these particles in their minds where they want to talk to their own self. They are afraid to do it, so they focus on separation, they focus on racist thinking, and they focus on wars that happened long ago. Ahimsa, ahimsa. The priests have come through the messaging today saying Hamsa to some of you, because the frequency of that word is resonating with peaceful mind state. Now your countries are focusing differently, some of them. Really trying to, at least. Your 375, that planet correct to Earth at this moment. Why do you need this knowledge? Some of you need it because it is area that becomes active on Earth. As the planet focuses on this one, areas become active on your Earth. Can you know the science of aligning energy between a planet and another planet? Tight connection. Areas that are active are in southern hemisphere. Priests say the sight comes through in those locations. Actually, more than that. It is like a ray of light that enters the place, and the connections between oneself and the understanding of how resonance takes place happens. Peace to you at this time. Can you focus on who you are, and the resonance between yourself and your Earth is important, kind of like telling yourself that you are grounded and directing your energy in a way that solves the past. Can you solve it, or would you remain in war in your head? No, you say, I don't do this. I'm human. I am good. So recall your goodness and have a timeline where you sense that in other beings. How it works, you will see. Direct yourselves, and kindness will prevail as usual. We are Orion Council. We love you, so it is.